So let me discuss you one particular experiment, or you can also assume this is a problem. So let's, from this particular experiment or problem, we will just try to verify the uncertainty principle. How uncertainty principle you can verify? And there is very good video on the YouTube. I will, if you want, I will share you about this particular concept we are just discussing, but we will just calculate how we can measure the uncertainty. Look at this, is very interesting. So suppose we have single slit problem. This is single slit problem, and there is a one particular screen, and this is single slit, and it is very widely opened. It is very widely opened, and what will happen? We just try to allow this particular laser light inside this particular slit. So what will happen? What we will see? We will see that there is a spot, and this is your y direction. Let's say this is your y direction, and this is your x direction. So slit width is in x direction. And now what is going to happen? We are just going to reduce this particular slit. What will happen? We are just going to reduce this particular slit. And as we are reduce it, what we will get? This light will spread it. We are reducing into the x part. The light is going to spread, and you will find some this kind of particular diffraction pattern. And I can just reduce this thing, and you have this. So what will happen? If you are reducing the delta x, what will be effect on px? It is increased such that light will go up to this level and this level. The momentum is going to increase very fastly. So you have in this, so why you are getting that light here and here also. So if you are decreasing into x direction, the momentum is going to spread it into the x direction. And you will be surprised when we are going to calculate. I will just right now calculate the uncertainty value of this particular experiment. You will get it will be more than h by 2. Let's try to calculate it. So I will just going to take the spread of the first maxima, because it is the main appearance thing. Other thing I am just going to leave it. So what will happen? So let's try to go for this calculation. And calculation is very simple, just a geometric in nature. So what will happen? So you have, so I am just removing this thing. So you have this kind of situation. Suppose, and this is the central part, and this is the part difference, and we can write this angle is, so from x-axis this angle is basically theta. So this is the x-axis, this angle is, let's say, theta. So this is the center part, so this axis is theta. And what will be this? This will be, let's say, d sine theta. And what is your d sine theta? You know from the diffraction pattern, d sine theta is equal to n lambda. This is for the all about your concept. I am just talking about the first maxima. So this will be d sine theta is equal to lambda. And what I am doing, I will take d as delta x. What is my, this is all about my delta x. So delta x is delta x sine theta is equal to lambda. So what is delta x? Delta x is equal to lambda upon sine theta. So I have calculated delta x. Let us calculate the what is change in momentum. So obviously it will spread into this side, and it is also spread into this side. So what will be delta px? Delta px is equal to all 2p sine theta. If p is the momentum, so spread of the momentum, this is spreading. The spread of the momentum in this direction and this direction in x direction is 2p sine theta. And now if we can write this 2p as 2 into, and you can just write delta px, and this will be a lambda, and this p
H
can
cut
be
upon delta x.
yes, we will no h cut upon delta x, not, we can write p as h upon lambda. So delta x into delta px, we can write delta x into delta px is equal to 2p. So this will be lambda upon sine theta into 2p sine theta. And what will happen? This and this will cancel, and you can get lambda into 2 into h upon lambda. So this is cancel. I can use the de Broglie wavelength for this particular p as h upon lambda, and you can easily get that value is 2h. So obviously for only this particular value we are getting the 2h. Then all other part, if you are go for this will be more than this. So obviously you can get the uncertainty delta x into delta px. Delta x into delta px is equal to 2h, and obviously greater than h by 2. So this is the wonderful experiment, and in your examination the same experiment can come into your exam. Don't worry. And now you can see if we are changing the x, and what will happen if we will increase the x. If we are going to increase the x, then px will be going to decrease. Then px will be the spread of in this direction is going to decrease, such that delta x into delta px will be more than h by 2. And obviously in this particular experiment we are getting this is 2h. So it is not, whatever we are calculating here is not hypothetical. We are just verifying the hypothesis with our natural experiment. And yes, we are doing it with the light. You can do this type of experiment with another particle also. But obviously, when it will come to the macroscopic particle, then it will create a big problem. Why big problem? Because it is not so significant. And that time you can, maybe you can find this value is maybe 0. So this is the wonderful experiment. You can just try to understand. If you have any doubt, you can just ask me.
हेलो सर,
Hmm.
तो जो आपने यहाँ पे d sin थीटा इक्वल्स टू लैम्डा लिखा है सर, वहाँ पे फिर आपने बाद में del x sin थीटा इक्वल्स टू लैम्डा किया है सर।
Hmm.
तो del x कैसे किया
Del
सर?
x ये d को
समझ
छोटा
नहीं।
कर दिया ना, छोटा कर दिया, चेंज कर दिया. Actual is this, but I just want to see if I will reduce dx, what will happen to p.
Yes sir.
Okay,
Okay sir.
so d will be changes to delta x.
Okay.
So in 1 year there was a question. So it is changing in x direction. So why I have given this is y direction and this is x direction. So I am changing d in x direction. Okay, the length, the width can be anything, na? Width can be anything.
Hello sir.
Yes.
Yes.
सर ये del px is equal to 2p sin theta कैसे हुआ एक बार बता
Because
दीजिए.
this is p. Okay, and you will take the two part of this. One is p cos theta, another is p sin theta.
Okay.
This is p. This is momentum. What is this value? This is theta. This is p sin theta, isn't it? So p sin theta upward and p sin theta downward. This is very simple, isn't it? You have this type of
Yes.
width, na?
Yes sir.
Okay.
सर ये मोमेंटम फोटोन की मोमेंटम की बात हो रही है क्या सर?
Yes, photon की momentum की बात. Light is all about photon. Yes. Now let's try to figure it out. Can we get the energy of hydrogen atom from uncertainty principle? Let's try to get it. We have get it, energy of hydrogen atom from Bohr's theory. Let's try to get the energy of hydrogen atom from uncertainty principle. It's a very nice problem. Let's try to do this. So what is energy? So energy is all about your, let's say, PR square upon 2m. plus potential energy, let's say VR. And you know what is the potential energy for hydrogen atom is PR square upon 2m minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon naught R naught. So this is your R naught, or R is there, not R naught, this is R. Suppose this is my potential. Now what is problem? If I am writing this thing from the uncertainty principle, what I am assuming? I am assuming that whatever be the phase curve, suppose we are going for PR and R, I can assume that this point is dimensionless. This point is dimensionless. So according to uncertainty principle, we cannot say precisely this is my PR and R. We cannot say. What you can say? Due to uncertainty principle, in the last class, I have told you that we have something like this kind of situation, such that there is some dimension. Dimension means not unit and dimension. Dimension means it has some area, and that area must be belongs to milli approximated to h. And you can just take this particular thing. Now, let us try to. So, what we have to do during the uncertainty principle, whatever we are writing PR and R, we are not sure they are actually PR and R. We can write they are something this kind of situation. So, any point between this we can write. And what we can say, you can say that delta PR into delta R is approximately, let's say it is equal to H cut. Okay, we are using H cut, na? Yes, they are actually H cut. And so we can write this thing as, and you have different value of delta PR and delta R. You have different value. They are variables. In spite of R and PR, we can use delta PR and delta R. Now, what we can write? We can write E as delta PR whole square upon 2m minus E square 4 pi epsilon naught delta R. And from the uncertainty principle, we can just put delta PR as E is equal to H cut square upon 2m delta R square minus E square, but 4 pi epsilon naught delta R. Now this delta R can be any value. This delta R can be any value. But we have to find only those value for energy is minimum. What I want? I just want to find minimum energy of hydrogen atom. We just want to find what will be the minimum value of hydrogen atom. So you can have delta R, n number of values you can get the delta R. But for one particular value of delta R, that is a number. That is a number, please. Delta R is a some number. And that is one particular value of delta R. You can find this energy is minimum. And let's try to find it. What is that particular value of delta R? And you will be surprised. You will be surprised when we will get the answer. So why I am doing this calculation here? Because you know the actual answer. You know the answer due to another form. So let's try to calculate the value of delta R for which energy is minimum. Please mind it, we can take delta R any value of delta R, but we want to know for which value of delta R energy is minimum. So what we can do, we can just go for dE upon D delta R must be equal to 0. And when you will just go for dE upon D delta R is equal to 0, then this is the calculation minus 2h cut square upon 2m delta R cube minus plus E square 4 pi epsilon naught delta R whole square is equal to 0. And from here, you can get the value of delta R. What is value of delta R? Delta R is 4 pi epsilon naught h cut square upon m E square. Do you remember what is this particular thing? Do you remember what is this particular thing? This number is very important. We have discussed this number.
A naught.
A naught. Yes.
0.53.
0.53 A naught. Means if your delta R is equal to A naught, and if you will put the value of delta R into this particular equation, you will put the value of delta R into this particular equation. I am just leaving up to you. I am writing the direct answer. You will get energy, and that energy is equal to E is equal to minus. You can have m by 2h cut square, and this will be E square upon 4 pi epsilon naught whole square. You will be surprised that is the exact value of energy. And what will be this value of energy? Is nothing but minus 13.6 electron volt, isn't it? You can just do this calculation. I am not giving the time to unnecessary for calculation, but look at this thing. So obviously it works. It works. And now what I am saying to you, I am saying to you that different approach, if different approach give the same type of conclusion, then obviously there is something hidden into the system, and we have to talk it in a generalized form. And the generalized form of all these things are known as quantum mechanics. So this is the most important thing you can find, how we are taking this type of situation. Look at, and please, how experimentally you will do this? How experimentally you will do this? You will just find the value of R at again and again, and then you will take you can have different value of R. You will take the different value of R, and then you will find the standard deviation of R. What is the standard deviation of R? The standard deviation of R is nothing but the average value of R square minus average value R whole square, and that will come to actually A naught. So it is, delta R is not just a, this can be practically verified. This can be practically verified. You can, anytime you can just, you have your particle and you can just find the position, and you can find the position, and again you can find the position, and again you can find the position again at the same time. Or you can say you are just using that some particular point, some particular system, and you have same system, n number of system at some particular point t is equal to t. In every system you just find the value of R, and then you have number of data, and then you can find it statistically, and once you will find it statistically, you will get this will be something as A naught. So this is very interesting. And when we will develop the quantum mechanical theory, you will find this will be exactly same number will come into the picture, same thing. So this is very interesting. So let's try to go for another problem. If you have any doubt, you can just ask me.
तो वो जो लास्ट में आपने डेल आर का फॉर्मूला लिखा है, डेल आर
डेल आर तो पिछले बार ही बताया था, पिछले बार ही बताया था. ओके ओके, नजर नहीं आ रहा है? डोंट वरी. डेल्टा आर इज ऑल अबाउट एवरेज वैल्यू ऑफ आर स्क्वायर माइनस एवरेज वैल्यू आर का होल स्क्वायर. ये कैलकुलेट करने आता है ना? यू हैव डन इनटू योर लैब. कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हो? फर्स्ट यू विल टेक R is equal to, let's say, A naught. Second, you will take R is equal to 3 by 2 A naught. Third measurement, you will take R is equal to 1 by 2 A naught. Okay. Then what you will do? Suppose I have taken the 3 measurement only. How you will calculate delta R? Then you will just go for A naught plus 3 by 2 A naught plus 1 by 2 A naught by 3. This is average value of R. And then you will just go for the average value of R square. What is average value of R square? A naught square 3 by 2 A naught square 1 by 2 A naught square by 3. So this is average value of R square. And now you will put it into this formula. But obviously I have just taken arbitrary number. But if you will do this thing into the lab, you will get this value is R naught. So it's a very interesting thing. So let's try to figure it out for harmonic oscillator also. Let's try to figure it out for harmonic oscillator. What will be the energy from the uncertainty principle for harmonic oscillator? Let's try to figure it out. Now, what is energy? Energy for harmonic oscillator is Px square upon 2m plus half m omega square x square. Now, for uncertainty, I cannot say this will be exactly Px and exactly x. There may be some variable into x and Px. So, what will be energy? I can write this will be delta Px whole square upon 2m plus half m omega square delta x whole square. And now, for the harmonic oscillator, one thing you have to remember, for the harmonic oscillator, for the minimum value of energy, you will take delta x into delta Px is equal to h cut by 2. And for this is for the harmonic oscillator. And for other system, you will take delta x into delta Px is equal to h cut. Can anybody guess why they are taking this? Actually, I am also not sure that why they are taking this, but I will give you some logic. And I think this logic is very interesting. But
Maybe sir, because
yes,
oscillator सर दोनों डायरेक्शन में मूव करता है सर, oscillate करता है ना, तो मतलब आप कर सकते हैं इसको.
no. In the particle box, we have taken h cut. Remember, in particle box, delta x into delta Px. Last class, we have taken h cut. You remember this thing? And in the particle in box, the particle is go there and come back. Just look at very nicely. Look at this all thing very carefully. This equation. Just try to look at this equation and then try to give me answer. I just want to develop your intuition about harmonic oscillator. Anybody wants to try?
Because of spherical.
Spherical? What is spherical?
सर पोजीशन की हायर पावर्स के लिए h/2 लेते हैं, h cut by 2.
No. Position के no. This is not very smart thing. For the hydrogen atom, we have taken h cut. For particle in box, we have taken h cut. But for harmonic oscillator, we are taking h cut by 2.
Potential energy directly proportional to delta x.
No. Look at. I am giving you. Look at, everything is all about symmetry. If I will take m is equal to 1, omega is equal to 1 unit, what will be energy? Isn't it? Px square by 2, x square by 2. And they are perfectly symmetric.
Yes,
You can
sir.
change x to p, p to x. I will tell this is my kinetic energy, this is my potential energy. What you will do? I will tell this is my potential energy, this is my kinetic energy. What you will do?
Change px by x.
Yes. Here is allowed. This thing is allowed. You can change px to x, x to px. They are symmetric. Both variable moving together actually. So why this is the most symmetric system? Why harmonic oscillator is so important? Why harmonic oscillator is so important? In any topic, you will get the harmonic oscillator because this is the most symmetric problem in a physics. You can have x square, px square, everything is very nice. So why we assume that minimum uncertainty can only achieved by the harmonic oscillator, and other problem will always get more than this. So this is one type of, it may be a matter of debate, it may be you cannot agree with this, but and even it is not given at any books and everything, but it is my intuition tells me that these two things can be interchanged and they are more symmetric. If you will go into this particular kinetic theory of gases, or if you will go into statistical mechanics, at some temperature T, what will be the average value of harmonic oscillator? Average energy of harmonic oscillator? You will get kT. And how you will get kT? You will get average value of kinetic energy, average value of potential energy. This kinetic energy will give you kT by 2, and this will also give you kT by 2. And you will get the
sir.
kT. Average value will be something behaving same kind of thing. Okay? Average value of kinetic energy, average value of potential energy, you will get everywhere, you will get same. And for this, I think my intuition is correct. Because all other problems, the px and x cannot be so much beautifully symmetric. And this is my idea actually to understanding the system, because once when I was on your level, I was so confused that why you are taking h cut by 2, why you are taking h cut here, and then I think very carefully and I got this answer. This will be all about particular thing.
Sir,
Hmm.
सर ये
Anyway,
सिमेट्रिकल तो
yes,
सर
yes.
ये सिमेट्रिकल तो तब है ना जब हम मास और ओमेगा 1
No,
1
no,
लेते हैं
these
अगर
are the
कुछ और
variable.
वैल्यू
These are
हो
the
तो
variable. Sorry, these are the parameters. I am just talking about variable. पैरामीटर का तो आप कुछ, ये तो हो सकता है ना, m and omega तो हो सकता है ना, and even you will take the mass, even you will take the omega, any value of omega, any value of mass. It is my personal feeling in the thermodynamics, you will get kT by 2, and in the quantum mechanics we have get same average kinetic energy and same average potential energy also. Everywhere I am getting the same kind of thing. We will show you when we will go into quantum mechanics, and all we will discuss into harmonic. Anyway, and I think I have just shared all my idea here, but it's up to you that you can take this idea or not. But yes, for the examination point of view, take harmonic oscillator h cut by 2, and for other system you can take h cut. But obviously physics is all about logic, how you can logically explain it. Let's try to go for it. Okay, so
सर
what I, yes,
ये अभी हाइड्रोजन एटम में जो मिनिमम एनर्जी -13.6 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट आई है सर, वो मिनिमम अनसर्टेनिटी एनर्जी है या सर फिर मिनिमम एनर्जी है?
एनर्जी हमने एनर्जी निकाला है उसके थ्रू.
तो सर हम यहाँ पर px को डेल्टा px और
आपने पार्टिकल की एक पर्टिकुलर एनर्जी दी, you have just given that particular value of energy, and you are just finding what is the px and what is the x at this particular point. There may be not one particular value of px and x, there may be 2 value, 3 value, n number of values, and then we are getting which one is the most suitable value such that we are getting the minimum value of energy. Listen, I can take this value, 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 I can take n number of value for given value of energy. There are n number of px and x. How many px and x for this particular energy? Infinite number. So for the but you will find that finally we will get a number. क्या लिया? डेल्टा आर की वैल्यू क्या लिया? ए नॉट लिया ना?
Yes, sir.
You are getting that one particular value na? Are you getting anything? So this is not
Okay,
change in
sir.
uncertainty. Okay, this is just a change in value. So now you can just write this thing E as, this will can be written as, so we will have to use upper part. That is h cut square upon 8m delta x square plus half m omega square delta x whole square. Now we want what is the value of delta x such that we are getting the energy E and which will be minimum. This is the question. So delta E upon delta x is equal to 0, which will tell you minus 2h cut square upon 8m delta x square plus m omega square delta x. Sorry? Cube. Yes. Cube is equal to 0. And now the next level we are getting this thing. So I think delta x square, delta x 4 aega, but I am taking delta x square. So delta x square is equal to h cut upon 4m square omega. So it is correct. H cut upon 4m omega square. Sorry, this is m square h cut square omega square. Okay. Yes. So now we can put the value of E here. So when we will put the value of E here, then you can get
सर ये तो डेल्टा एक्स पावर 4 की वैल्यू होगी ना?
delta x to the power 4 की वैल्यू होगी. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. हाँ, yes. This is for the delta x to the power 4. Okay. Yes. So delta x square की वैल्यू यहाँ पुट करेंगे, है ना? So this will be h cut square upon 8m. So this will be what? This will be h cut upon 2m omega, है ना? स्क्वायर है तो इसी कारण देख रहा है,
Yes.
ठीक है? So that will be half m omega square, and then you have again h cut square और क्या आ रहा है? Sorry, h cut upon 2m omega. H cut
2m
upon 2 omega. है ना? And now you will be again see the thing. If I am going to calculate it, this will come h cut omega by 4. Look at this will also come h cut omega by 4, isn't it? Look at the symmetry, and this will come up to h cut omega by 2. And you will find this is the exact value of energy. This is the exact value of energy we are getting into the lab. Bohr-Sommerfeld value have given you h cut omega, but that is not exact. That have said you different thing. Obviously, that was the initial time when people are trying, but everyone is very close to each other. And now, can you say what will be this delta x? Look at this delta x is very important. H cut upon 2m omega. Look at what is this particular delta x. Are you getting this? This is very simple.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now look at what is happen when we are plotting px versus x. Classically, I am just plotting px versus x. This point is all about 2e upon m omega square. This point is all about 2e upon m omega square. Remember, last class we have done.
Yes, sir.
E is equal to px square upon 2m plus half m omega square x. Means momentum is 0. And now, if you will put the value of E is equal to h cut omega by 2, E is equal to h cut omega by 2. Just put it. E is equal to h cut omega by 2. What will this value? E upon m omega. So this is E upon m omega. Sorry, h cut upon m omega, isn't it? H cut upon m omega, and this is minus h cut upon m omega, isn't it? So classically, if you will try to see the thing classically, and if this value is h cut omega by 2, suppose I am taking energy and that is classical energy h cut omega by 2, what are these 2 points? What are these 2 points? Turning points. And particle actually confine into in these 2 things, isn't it? Particle classically not go beyond in these 2 things, and what will be this difference? This difference will be something in this order, isn't it? This difference will something in this order. So just these are the turning points. So you can find the number, you can able to find the number from the delta x, which will be classically some parameters or some length for the system. So when you are talking about delta x, delta px, and for the minimum particular value of energy, you can find something equivalent to classical or near about the classical. You cannot find this. Such in the hydrogen atom, we are getting exactly the classical point of the electron, that is A0. We are just getting the classical point of the electron, and we have something like this, something in this same type of, the dimension is exactly same, just you can put it. This is all about turning points, isn't it? So what we have seen that delta x in, you can see this is my Vx and Vx versus x, and this is my particular, is these 2 points are the turning points. You can calculate it, you can calculate by this thing that E is equal to actually px square upon 2m plus half m omega square x square, and now we can get x is nothing but, you can easily calculate, this will be 2e upon m omega square, and when we will put E is equal to h cut omega by 2 for the minimum value of energy, we have just calculated that x is equal to, actually you can get h cut upon m omega. And what is value of delta x? The delta x, the value of delta x is equal to, we have gotten h cut upon 2m omega root under. So these 2 points, so if you can see these points, the first point is all about h cut upon m omega root under, and this point is minus h cut upon m omega. We can have 2 turning points, and for this particular value of delta x, for this particular value of delta x, and this is actually, if you can calculate, this will be 1 upon root 2 time delta x, and let's say this particular delta, for this particular delta x means, obviously the particular value of delta x will inside this particular well, and this is nothing but delta x upon root 2. So this is something not, we can just write this is nothing but x naught, 1 by root 2 upon x naught by root 2. I can just write this as x naught, this is at x naught. So delta x will be some point here, you can just find, and this is the actually classical region. So particle will be move inside this particular thing, and you can just find what will be for this particular of delta x, and this particular delta x is nothing but x naught by root 2, and you can take minus sign also. You can find that this energy is minimum. So you cannot neglect classical mechanics or classical features of a particle or a system to understand the quantum mechanics. You cannot separate it. Let's try to go for another problem, and where we will also try to understand from the help of de Broglie wavelength that how classical mechanics will help to understand the quantum mechanics and what is the significance of de Broglie wavelength. So let me go for one particular problem. This is very simple one. So you can just look at. So this is the basically step potential. We have V naught as my particular potential, and the particle will interacting with this potential. So if particle is interacting with this potential, then let's try to understand what will happen for the de Broglie wavelength for different energy. So I am just taking two type of energy. So I am just talking about, and for lambda, for region 1, and region 1 is x is less than 0, and region 2 is x is greater than 0. Let us, this is 0 and this is x. So this is one is region 1, this one is region 2. And for the one case I am just taking that energy is equal to 2v naught, and second case I am just using that energy is about v naught by 2. So we have two case, and let's try to figure it out. What will be lambda into first case and second region? First region is all about this region, second is this. So for energy E is equal to 2v naught. So region 1, we have lambda 1. Let's say this is lambda 1, that is h upon p, and in this region we have h upon root under 2m v naught, because in the region 1 we have energy E is equal to only p square upon 2m. And for the region 2, if we are going for the region 2, let's try to figure it out. What will be lambda 2? So lambda 2 is equal to h upon, let's say this is p1, so this will be p2. What will happen? H is equal to root under 2m, and this will be, so this will be 2m into 2v naught. So this will be 4v naught actually, h upon 4m v naught, because I have taken energy as 2v naught. So 2v naught minus v naught. So this will be actually h upon root under 2m v naught. So obviously what we have the particle has very high momentum in this region. So why de Broglie wavelength is less compared to this, and in this region the momentum is less. So why I have taken this sign, the momentum is less, so de Broglie wavelength is high. So this is for the case for energy E is equal to 2v naught. Let's try to go for the case when energy is v naught by 2, and this is very interesting. In the region 1, we can find that lambda 1, let's say this is lambda 1 dash, and this is for energy is equal to v naught by 2. We can again find h is equal to h by p. You can just find the momentum, and you can just put h by root under, and this value is equal to 2me. So this value is 2me, and that is h upon the value is equal to 2m v naught by 2. So this will be h upon root under mv naught. So obviously, yes, we have less kinetic energy, less momentum. So why we have less, particularly if you can find this particular momentum, this momentum is more less than this. So de Broglie wavelength will be higher here. So you can take lesser than this. But what will happen to this region? This region is very interesting. If we are going to see this particular region, then you can find this lambda 2 dash is equal to h upon root under 2m E minus v naught. And what is E here? E is basically, you can get v naught by 2. So E is here, v naught by 2, and you will get this is minus 2m v naught by 2, and this is imaginary. So obviously this momentum itself is imaginary. So the significance of wavelength, imaginary wavelength, is not physical. So this is not physically possible. Not physical. So here we cannot find the de Broglie wavelength, and we can also not find the classical allowed region. This is not a classical allowed region because momentum is imaginary. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is very interesting. We can find de Broglie wavelength only those regions where momentum is some real value. What is meaning of momentum is real value? Momentum is real value means your particle is in the classical allowed region. So obviously classically we cannot find the particle into this region because this is classical forbidden region. This is classical forbidden region. But obviously you will find quantum mechanically, when we will go into the quantum mechanics, that we can find the particle into this region. Wow, how it is happening, why it is happening, nobody knows. This is the very exciting thing. But yes, right now from this particular thing, we cannot find the de Broglie wavelength into this region. This is not physical. So the physically de Broglie wavelength is present only those regions where the particle is classically moving. Classically they have some momentum. Then only you can find the de Broglie wavelength. So on to this note, so I am just going to end of this particular topic of duality and all kind of modern physics, and they are the basically hypothesis, observations, and different kind of principles on which we can develop a very new theory, and that theory is identified as quantum mechanics. So whatever we have observed, and we have philosophically, experimentally, mathematically try to explain all these observations, but when all observations and all these mathematics and some more concept will involve into all these things, we will build a new world to understanding the physics, understanding the observation, and that is the quantum mechanics. So we will start quantum mechanics from the next particular week or next particular class. So in the quantum mechanics, I have make a plan that first I will just give you some mathematical temperament of this, and then we will start the quantum mechanics. Thank you.